Okay, today is my birthday, 21st of May, and I was born in 1966. So this is my chart of today. And what I want to show you is if you go to astro.com, you'll be able to get a chart like this. And currently, the transits are shown on the outside of a chart, or not currently, but you'll be able to see your own chart by looking at the transits on the outside. As an example, we have the North Node goes clockwise and it's just moved into Gemini. It's at 29 degrees, and the South Node has moved into Sagittarius, which is also at 29 degrees. It goes, you know, the way it moves. And then we've also got the planets at the moment, you know, the collective at the moment is the planets on the outside show the collective. And when we have our time of birth, we're able to understand where the rising sign is. The rising sign changes every couple of hours. So what I'm going to do is introduce you to a solar return. I'm going to show you what's going to happen for me, what a solar return looks like, and how it defines our year ahead. And it's a beautiful thing to do for ourselves and treat ourselves maybe for our birthday or before, to look at what the energy is, how it's going to be playing out for the year ahead, because it can give us a lot of guidance and cut out a lot of the nonsense. And so we get to look at where the energy is going to be spent and understand it better. And then also if there's any issues we need to work on, we can see what those are as well. So you can see there I'm Scorpio rising, and currently the nodes I've just explained. We've got the Pluto and Jupiter are currently in Capricorn retrograde, and Saturn is also in Aquarius, and that's going to hit retrograde too. It's hit retrograde too. Coming up, and let me see there, it is retrograde. And then we've got Mars is traveling through Pisces at the moment, and Mars takes about 6 weeks to move through a sign. We've also got Chiron in Aries. We've got Neptune at 20 degrees of Pisces also at the moment. And then the moon right now is in Taurus, and the Uranus is also in Taurus. I hope this is making sense. And my sun, you can see, so how we know it's our birthday, the sun is bang on my natal sun. So the sun is 0.25, I think it says up there, if I can read that properly. So it's just basically hit my sun. So I've got my sun conjunct sun, which means it's my birthday. And that will last for a couple of days, like the effect of the before and after, the sun being conjunct my sun. And then we have currently Mercury and Venus conjunct as the collective, and those are both on my moon. So that's my emotions, and it's quite beautiful to see. So now I'm going to show you what my year ahead looks like for me. This is a solar return. So to give you an example, for the year ahead, I am going to appear to be outwardly and inwardly, or however we want to play this one. I'm going to be Sagittarius rising. I'm going to have Gemini on my DC, and which is our relationships. And I'm going to have Aries on my IC, and my MC is going to be Libra. So how does this work? So I'm going to just give you a little bit of information so that you can understand. So I'm reading, okay, so because I want you to understand a little bit deeper. So the ascendant is our physical personality in part, and what people will tend to see play out is the DC. When we look at the AC, which is the ascendant, because of the time of birth, then well, it plays out more outwardly as the DC in our relationships. So the ascendant in Sagittarius, the ruler is Jupiter. So if I look at the ascendant Sagittarius, and then I'll look for where Jupiter is, and Jupiter is in my second house, and then we begin to see things at a deeper level. So it says here that one part of my nature heads up for noble goals, while the other part is controlled by the earthly and animal instincts. And during this period, I may be accomplished by constant search for something that is very difficult to achieve. So I might be searching for something that is difficult to achieve, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't go for it. And before reaching the goal, and it can be felt that it's difficult to achieve, and also it's about that I will have a lot of energy and enthusiasm to reach that goal. So that's a good thing, because I know what my goals are for the year ahead, and then it gets more defining in a chart as well. And the Gemini descendant is where it's where the best sort of partners that you want to work with. We're going to be working with people in communication. I want to be able to communicate, and also it's where I want to get things done and locally, and to learn to listen as well. So I've got to not just, be giving out information. I want to be bringing in new information. My Pluto is going to be in my second house. So this is where I transform my values and finances, and then either better or worse with Pluto. One has to watch what one's doing and be aware of what one is doing with Pluto, because it's transformation and rebirth, but it's also the death of things. And, I can see that how that's playing out in my life currently. And the death of, maybe getting rid of where you've got new values come in, new values and new belief systems, and expansion and travel is Jupiter, and Saturn is where I'm restricted. So that's how, the area it's going to be in my second house, to do with my values and my needs. So I'm resolving a lot of stuff there in myself, but I'm also moving forward at a good pace. With the Mars in Pisces, I'm going to be able to want to help heal, and the Neptune as well, and Chiron, although that's in Aries, it's in the third house. So this is to do with communication with others, and speaking with others and communicating in a way that to get others to to understand others and to be understood. I could go a lot deeper here, but I'm just giving you an idea. So the Moon and Uranus are in my fifth house. So this is where I will want to be breaking free of limitations and be creative, and I will want to basically be free. There's a sense of freedom. But what's interesting here is that the Sagittarius is also to do with freedom. I'll read a bit more on that actually. So that Sagittarius ascendant in my solar for the year ahead is a period of expansion, personal growth, and general good luck, which is nice to hear. You will feel a desire to expand your sphere of interest that is beyond that which you are familiar with. Your idealism will also increase, and you will have a strong interest in the fields of religion or philosophy, law, metaphysics, and in advanced science. So, but in part, astrology is to do with metaphysics. Also, I will draw people to me who are positive and helpful, which I have done. I've just noticed that over the last couple of weeks as well. There will be a desire for independence, and that will be strong. And there will also be a desire to travel and become acquainted with distant lands, which was my plan prior to the lockdown. I was planning on traveling, but the plane stopped. So when they're up and running again, I intend to do that, over the next coming 12 months. I'm definitely traveling. I will be traveling. This is because this is going to be a good year for me to do it with that Sagittarius rising for my solar return. And I will be carrying out my plans with great enthusiasm. And this year you will think big and nothing less will do, which is great, because I've done so much work behind the scenes on studying astrology, looking at complex PTSD, starting groups on Meetup, and getting courses together, but also putting out information and structure as well I've been working on. It says I will have faith in my plans also, but I must be positive but realistic. It says that my nature, it can be quite serious and reserved also, but it says if you are by nature, quite reserved and serious, this will be a year where I will surprise everybody. So look out for me to surprise you. If I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm probably full of surprises. I'm a bit of with my Gemini sun and moon anyway, I can be I'm quite humorous. I'm not saying that I'm funny, but I do come out with things sometimes. And also Aquarius is my third house in my natal chart. So I do tend to be quite defined in a way, the way I deal with my life in, my communication. So also I may be attracted to adventure and conquest, and the unusual will appeal to me. And what else can we say? I'm likely to meet some interesting people and will stimulate my intellect and expose me to new and exciting ideas. And I'm encouraged to spread my wings and travel. So it's a social year, which is really great to hear. So I'm going to leave it there. But if you want your natal chart looked at, or you want your solar return looked at. If you've got a birthday coming up in a few months or whatever, you might really enjoy it to see where you're heading. But I've definitely got my North Node is in Gemini. It's all in to do with partnership. Partnership is to do with all of the people that we mix with generally, and that can be in business or it can be in intimacy. And I've got my Venus conjunct my Mercury, which will make me quite pleasant to deal with, so they say, with Venus conjunct Mercury. And my Sun is in my 6th house for my solar return, so I'm ready. I've got the energy to do my work this year. So this is I'm really pleased with this chart for my solar return. So it's a happy birthday to me. And if you want your chart read, I'm doing $20 up until the end of May, and then I'm reviewing it. That's for an hour, and I record the session and send that to you by transfer of an email, and then you have a copy of it. So do feel free to ask or look at my booking link below the page. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there, and thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more probably tomorrow or the day after. Catch you later.